Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today is the 15th of April, and if you watched the first half of this wrap up, you would have seen that I've decided to cut it into two parts this month. I am just about to start pulling my bookcases apart and redoing them. I cleaned and reorganised my TBR shelves upstairs yesterday, which I didn't vlog, but I posted about it on Instagram. These shelves are my red shelves, they're my collection. It's a much bigger job, so I thought I would vlog a little bit of it. I am nowhere near skilled enough with editing to be able to do like a fancy montage of me moving books with nice music underneath, so I will just give you like a before and after shot, like guide, as to how my shelves are looking. I'm excited for it. I am a bit nervous, but it's one of those jobs I've wanted to get done for ages, so I'm sure I'll feel better once it's done. Okay, so this is the current setup. My books aren't grouped with genre. We've got a few author groupings, so we've got Margaret Atwood is all together, we've got Holly Bourne over there all together, and a few collections together, but mostly I just put it together how I think it looks aesthetically pleasing, which I know really hurts people like Leanne, who has it grouped by genre. So I'm going to take everything off, I'm going to clean everything and then put everything back on. But I have plans. At the moment, my plan is to take the rainbow from up here and move it down here, and also possibly along here, and also then to put all of my hardback books up on here. So let's see how we go. Do you ever start something and wish you hadn't? Because that is where I am right now. Everything is off the shelves, except for this middle one. I should have said that's my husband's bookshelf, but everything is off my shelves, and now I have to try work out how to put it back together. Oh boy. And here are the finished shelves. It feels like it's about 3 days later, but it's actually 2 hours it's taken. I'm not showing you what I look like because I am a sweaty mess of a human being, but I think I'm happy with the results. It's one of those things I will have to live with it for a few days and like fiddle about with it a bit. But let's just give a very brief tour. So this is the shelf that I sit in front of to film. I wanted to have a rainbow behind me of my books, and then like some of my favourites. So we've got a rainbow along the top. Then obviously the Atwood collection is all together. Then we've got the Mina Lima collection together, and the C.J. Sampson series, along with a globe that Gary bought me for Christmas. Down in the bottom shelf, this is my trilogy shelf. So they're the trilogies I have. They're arranged in alphabetical order by author's surname. Then on the bottom shelf right hand side, that's my purely fiction and non-fiction section. Clearly need to be buying more non-fiction, although quite a lot of it I have is hardback, which we'll see in a minute. So that's the shelf that you guys will see most regularly. And then along the top, I've just got my ballerina, the cat picture my friend Steph got me for Christmas a couple of years ago, my cat figurine, and a lantern. Also, I occasionally get questions about this. Gary bought this for his 39th birthday, and I absolutely love it. Okay, then up here I have got together all of my hardbacks, and this was kind of what this was really about. I wanted to get all the hardbacks together. I tried to do it in a rainbow and it just looked rubbish. So I've done it in high order instead, and like I said, I think I'm happy with it, but I will probably be fiddling around with the order of it for a few days. This one hasn't really changed because that's all of Gary's coffee table books. And then this one, this whole process has shown me that actually I've got a lot more space than I thought, so clearly I need more books, which is no bad thing. So along the top we've got, that was a pile of books falling over, I'll show you that in a second. Along the top we've got this needlepoint that my friend Steph made for me, which is a quote from Pride and Prejudice. A random little trophy thing that Gary won for axe throwing for work a couple of years ago before the pandemic. A little bit book of Proverbs, which is my grandpa's, I've talked about that before. That cat shape lights up as a little neon light, and then there's these three, they are a bit random, like these 3 ball things that Gary got somewhere years ago. Then we've got the Jane Austen collection all together. This is amazing. Gary's dad made that for him for his 50th birthday, and it's all made out of like, obviously bits of wood, but like, yeah, it's really intricate and amazing. This is the other end of the rainbow. I didn't have like enough space for the whole thing, but I feel like this will grow as more books get added in. I then got a section here of books that are weird heights, so they're taller than normal paperbacks, so they are together. That gold star is a memorial star that we got from my grandpa when he passed away a few years ago. Got my love letters, And then down here we've got my Macmillan Library collection, absolutely beautiful. All You Need Is Love and a Cat. And then these two Grady Hendrix fit nowhere, so they're just having to be a little pile on their own right now. And then down here, these are Gary's books and The Ashes of Our Previous Cat. So yes, these are my bookshelves. Please let me know what you think. I think I like them. Oh, I meant to say, I also pulled out 10 more books from my unhaul, which you will have seen by the time this video goes up. It's the 16th of April, and as you can probably tell by my clothes, I'm having a very relaxed day. Today is the last day of the Easter holidays. You might be able to hear the cat padding about behind the camera. Today is the last day of the Easter holidays, and I have handed in my work and done my planning for next week, so I'm treating myself to a super lazy day. I've had a very nice lie-in, I've had a bath, and now I've had 2 parcels arrive. There goes the cat. You want to come on camera? He's like, no, I don't. You can see him there. Yeah, I've had 2 parcels. So the lovely Faye from Mystery Date with a Book has set up an Etsy store with her mum where they are doing mystery boxes. He's not going to let himself out of the room. Where they're doing mystery boxes. And so obviously she's a friend of mine, so I wanted to support her. So I ordered the self-care mystery box on the Etsy store, which is called Lara's Little Secret. It doesn't say anything. It doesn't say like you could get this or this. It just says self-care box. So I really don't know what's in this. Let's see if I can show you the front without showing you my address. So that's what it looks like. So I thought we'd open it together because I have literally no idea what's in here. Ooh. Okay, so it comes like this. And then you've got, oh wow, okay, all these little, it really does feel like a present, even though I paid for it myself. It feels like a present. So let's see what we have. So it's all got the logo on it, which is so cute. This is going to turn into an ASMR video, isn't it, with all the rustling. Okay, cute. Okay, so we've got this lovely bright blue loafer thing. What is this one? Oh, it's got cute washi tape on it. Okay, what's this? Socks? I think it's socks. Is it socks? This is how it... Oh, it's all so cute, Faye. I love it. Okay, try and get this. Yeah, I think they're socks. Okay. Oh yeah, they are. Oh, cute. Oh, they're really soft as well. Today isn't the worst, it says on them. That's hilarious. I'm going to wear these for my first day back at school on Monday. That's so nice. Okay, so we've got socks. What is this? This is maybe a bath bomb? Yeah. Whoop. That is a Citronella bath bomb. Nice. Oh, it smells really fresh and lovely. Okay. Oh gosh, like I said, I paid for this, but it feels like a present anyway. I think for the way it's wrapped. What are these? So, oh, okay, so toe separators for when you're painting your toenails. And actually I need to do my toenails today. Look how cute they are. They got little sunflowers on the end of them. Okay, those are really cute. I like those. What else have we got? I've got 5 more things, I think. Oh, a candle. Candle, we've got a candle. A Baylis and Harding, pink Prosecco and Cassis. Oh, that smells really nice. Again, that's a really fresh scent. Oh, so that's the shop logo. I will obviously link it in the description as well. I've got this one, which feels very much like hand cream, which would be good right now because I don't know about you guys, but my hands are so dry and cracked because of all of the anti-bac I'm using. Oh yes. Okay, so we've got a grapefruit scented hand cream. I think I paid, this is the medium box, I think. There's a regular, medium or large, and I went for a medium, which I think was about £20. Okay, we've got 2 tea bags. I don't really drink tea, but pomegranate and raspberry, or raspberry and pomegranate, and zingy lemon and ginger both sound really nice, so I might give one of those a go. What is this? I don't know. Oh, okay, maybe a nail file? Let's see. I'm really intrigued. On the Etsy, there's loads of different ones. There's a cat one, which I almost went for, but I didn't know if it would include treats, and Jack's really picky. Oh yeah, it's cute. It's a nail file, emery board thing, which I actually don't know how to use, to be completely honest, but it's very pretty, and I will find a home for it somewhere. Yeah, there's a cat one, a dog one, There's a teacher one that I'm really intrigued by, which I might get later on in the year. Ooh. Self-care always includes chocolate. So we've got a little Twix and a little Mars bar. I will definitely be having those this afternoon. And then this is the last thing. Oh, I'm not sure what it is. Face mask maybe? Yeah. Oh, lovely. Soap and Glory. Love a bit of Soap and Glory. Radiance Boosting Mask. White Flower Brightening Complex and Lotus Flower Cherry Blossom and Rooibos tea extract for dull lackluster skin. Lovely. That's going to make me feel very nice. The cat is back in the room. So yeah, thank you very much for all of that, Faye. I'm really excited to support your business, and this was a very lovely thing to open. Okay, so the second thing that I have to open today is this box that has arrived, and I know it's from Leanne, Literary Diversions. I had a little shopping spree on other people's wish lists last week and sent out quite a few books, including one to Leanne, and she sent me back a message saying thanks, but that she was sending something to me that she hoped would make me so emotional that I would snot everywhere. So let's see if she's managed it. It's a big box, like, and I'm intrigued to see what you've sent me, Leanne. Oh, I forgot about this. Okay, so she had an unhaul, or did an unhaul a while ago, and asked me if I wanted any books, and I was like, oh yes please. So yeah, what did she say? Oh, she said just a wee something. I can't actually read that word. From me to you. I think you're a rock star. I never want to be without you. Love you. Love you too. Oh, that's so cute. And it says, we must have perseverance and above all confidence in ourselves, which is a quote from Marie Curie. I have a few of these from Leanne that I just have up in my office, and yeah, they make me very happy. Let's see. Okay. Whoops, I forgot she was going to send me this. So it's an arc of The Other Bennet Sister by Janice Hadlow, which I actually bought earlier this week because I had completely forgotten that she was going to send this to me. So I will find a home for one of them, but it's very kind of her to send this to me. Thank you, Leanne. And it's about Pride and Prejudice told from the perspective of Mary Bennet, and I'm very excited to read it, which is why I bought it this week, because I forgot that she was going to send this to me. And then I can see the other one in here, which I'm very excited about, and that is Here is the Beehive by Sarah Crossan, which I think is written in verse. Yes, it is. I saw Shannon from 155 Books really enjoyed this book, so when I saw it in Leanne's unhaul pile, I was like, oh yes please. And that cover is completely glorious. What's the naked hardback like? Yes, I'm excited to read this. Oh, it's so cute, and it's got, yes. Okay, I'm going to be reading that very, very shortly. So thank you, Leanne. And then there's something else in here that I don't know that I was expecting. What is this? Okay, look how cute this is. Okay. It's very hard to open presents on camera, but it's very cute. Okay. Leanne is like my husband. She likes to sellotape things up really efficiently so you can't get in. Oh. Okay, I refuse to cry and I refuse to snot everywhere, but she sent me this, which is absolutely beautiful. Family always there, no matter what and no matter where. I love you too. I just finished filming these previous clips, and then this dropped through my letterbox, and I can't show you the front because it's got my name and address on, but it's from Amy Myers, who obviously is a friend of mine and creator, booktuber and stuff, and I didn't know she was sending me anything. And yeah, it's just this little envelope. Last time she sent me something, it was bookmarks, resin bookmarks that she'd made, so I'm kind of, I thought I'd open it on camera just so you can see. Oh wow, okay, so so she sent me this. That's clearly Jack. That's my bookshelf, isn't it? That is actually my bookshelf, or it was before I moved it all around yesterday. Oh my gosh, she's literally copied some of the books on my shelf. That's amazing, Amy. I love it. And there's Jack, and she said, Victoria, shelf that makes me think of you, and of course it wouldn't be complete without a sleepy Jack. I did some Instagram investigations, some of your shelf decorations, all of the books I chose to paint are titles that make me think of Jack. On here you'll find such tales as Beauty and the Beast, Animal Farm, Far from the Tree, and more. I hope I got Jack's likeness all right. The painting definitely won't be as handsome and majestic as the original. Well, yeah, obviously, but in case you don't know, Amy did my channel art, which you should go and check out. She's amazing. And she's definitely caught him really well. I love it. Thank you. And then she's also sent me some more bookmarks. So we've got this really cool green one. Ooh, let's not drop things. This blue one, that looks like the ocean to me. Beautiful. Purple, green and blue. And this like fiery red and orange and pink one. These are beautiful. And then look at this. Oh, there's another one. Hang on. Got stuck to the back of this. Look at that. That's like really, that feels very like spacey to me, like Mars. And then look, she sent me this as well. How beautiful is this? My friends are so clever and so talented. It's the 19th of April, and as you can probably tell from the state of me, today was the first day back at school. Oh my gosh, I really can't talk. And yeah, it hit me like a train. However, I did finish 4 books over the weekend, and coincidentally I gave all of them 4 stars, so I'm going to talk through them fairly quickly. So the first book was Tom's Midnight Garden by Philippa Pearce. This is a middle grade classic, modern classic, is written in the 50s. I've left my bookmark in it because I'm actually going to be teaching my year 7s this from tomorrow, so I obviously had to give it a read. I've never read it before, didn't study it at school, and it's about a boy called Tom, as you would expect, who gets sent to stay with his aunt and uncle because his brother has the measles, so he has to quarantine, which is going to be an interesting thing to talk to the kids about right now. And basically in the block of flats where they live, there's a grandfather clock that's been there for centuries, and Tom hears it ring the 13th hour one night, and he goes down to investigate, and he ends up discovering this garden. And yeah, I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna be teaching it, so I had to give it a read. I enjoyed it. It's got some interesting topics to chat to the kids about, and you know, points of view to discuss with them, and like ways to teach it, so I think it'd be really good to teach. I enjoyed the story. It's got a like nice little twist at some point, won't say where it is because spoilers, and yeah, gave it 4 stars. Had a lovely time. Then I read the book from my brother this month. This is the last of the books that he got me for Christmas, and this was Cold Earth by Sarah Moss. He always puts a post-it note in when he buys me a book, so he said, lol, that this was written in 2009. Bit of a novelty, but actually a decent portrayal of dynamics on the dig. I liked all the changes in perspective. So in case you don't know, my brother is an archaeologist, and this follows a group of 6 archaeologists who go to Greenland on a dig, and as they get there, there are murmurings about a global pandemic, and then basically I'm trying to work out how much to say. So it says, as the Arctic winter approaches, their communications with the outside world fall away. Utterly gripping, Cold Earth is an exceptional and haunting first novel about the possibility of survival and the traces we leave behind. I really enjoyed this. I've read another one of hers, which I now can't think what it was called. Something Wall. Something. It came out last year, I think, or it was quite big last year, and I read that and liked it. This one I preferred. It was really interesting as somebody who's never been on an archaeological dig. A ghost wall, I think it was. Was that her? I think it was. Yeah, someone who's never been on a dig. It was really interesting to kind of see what that's like. There are some kind of potentially supernatural elements to this, and it's very like closed in. It was very tense to read, and also you've got the fact that there's a global pandemic unfolding. This was, as the note said from Ben, this was written in 2009, so it was written way before the current situation that we're in, but the illness that they're describing, it sounds eerily like COVID, so just be aware of that, because I couldn't have read this last year for sure. I was fine to read it this year, but just be aware of that. Yeah, really enjoyed it, gave it 4 stars. I will definitely read more from Sarah Moss. Then I had an ARC. This comes out on the 13th of May, and that is 16 Horses by Greg Buchanan. This was very, very kindly sent to me by Book Break in exchange for an honest review. And this is a literary fiction thriller / mystery, really. I would put it more in the mystery rather than thriller. And we are in a very... we're in a, what is the word? It's a town. Oh my gosh, words. We're in a town in the north of England that used to be thriving and is now really run down. And one morning, a farmer discovers 16 horses' heads that have been buried with one eye up towards the sun in a circle on his land. And a police inspector gets involved. He calls in a forensic
veterinarian, which I didn't even know was a thing. Yep. And together they try and work out what is going on, and it's very much about the secrets and lies of this community. Again, it's very closed in setting, it's very tense. We get quite a few different perspectives, and I felt like I knew this town really well by the end of the novel. I think the pacing was a little bit off in the middle, it was a bit slow, and the ending probably won't be for everyone, but I really enjoyed it. This is a debut novel. I thought it was going to be 5-star. It was kind of a 5-star read for the first sort of 150 pages because I could not put it down. And then the pacing started to go a little bit wobbly for me, but I did enjoy it enough to give it a 4-star overall. And like I said, I'll definitely read more from this author because this was his debut, which is impressive. It is quite a chunk though. It's over 400 pages, 454 pages, and I think maybe if it'd been a little bit shorter, it might have been a little bit snappier. But I did really enjoy it. Very atmospheric and very kind of evocative of a British seaside town that's down on its luck. So yeah, 4 stars for that. And then my buddy read with Charlotte from Books and Bargains this month was Bridget Jones's Diary. We were both sent these beautiful 25th anniversary editions from Book Break again. Charlotte had never read it, which I thought was outrageous. So Buddy read it. I'd not read it for years, and it was a weird experience. This is a book that hasn't aged well, but it is very much a book of its time, and there are still elements of it that are charming and funny and enjoyable. In case you don't know, this is what it says on the tin. We are following Bridget Jones. She is a journalist in London, and we're just following her kind of life. We're reading her diary and watching as things unfold for her. It is based on Pride and Prejudice, just to give you an idea of the storyline. And yes, so the problematic things in this are the fact that every single diary entry starts with Bridget's weight and how many calories she's eaten, how many cigarettes she smoked, all that kind of thing, which just made me feel very uncomfortable, particularly as Bridget is 9 stone and complaining about being fat. I weigh considerably more than that, and 9 stone is not overweight. But it was just the constant like diet culture references. There's a section where there's a few diary entries where she is giving them the measurement for how big her thighs are, and I think it could be really triggering for some people. So if you're somebody who struggles with body image or eating or has food issues, I wouldn't necessarily recommend this. And I feel like if those sections had just been taken out, the rest of it would have been a lot more enjoyable. There's one comment that's made by Bridget's mother that is very racist, and it is framed in a kind of like, oh, mummy's ridiculous, ignore her kind of way, but it's not dealt with in the way that it would be dealt with now. So I didn't love that. However, those things aside, there's something about the character who is just so endearing. And what I really liked about this edition in particular is you get 100 pages after the end of the novel where Helen Fielding is talking about how she came up with the idea. We get copies of like early columns, because it was originally a column in The Independent. There's an interview with what's his name, Colin Firth, yes, who played Mark Darcy. There's an interview with him, and it's a good time. And there is a bit at the end about Bridget in the 21st century and what she might be like, including some diary entries of her in lockdown, which I thought were quite fun. So yeah, it's of its time, so if you're going to pick it up, be aware of that and be aware of possible triggers. But there's something, like I said, something charming about the writing that I still just really enjoyed. It's the 22nd of April. This is going to be a very brief review because you can probably tell I had a 5-lesson day today and I'm exhausted. This job is no joke. However, last night I did finish Much Ado About Nothing by William Shakespeare, which was a reread for me. I've probably read this, I don't know, a dozen times, maybe more. But it was a buddy read with Shannon from 155 Books. I love reading with Shannon, and she wanted to get back into reading more Shakespeare because she did her year of Shakespeare last year and she's been missing it. She wanted to read more Shakespeare and she was like, do you want to read Much Ado? And I was like, yes I do. So yeah, we've just had a really lovely time this week, and actually it's been really nice, even though I'm teaching 2 Shakespeare modules at school right now. I'm teaching Romeo and Juliet to my year 9s and I'm teaching Macbeth to year 10s. It was really nice to like come home and just read Shakespeare for fun rather than trying to work out how to teach it to teenagers. So yeah, I'm gonna put this down because I need to swap hands. But Much Ado About Nothing, I guess I can't hold it with this hand, can I? My brain is not working. Much Ado About Nothing is a comedy. We have two couples. We have Beatrice and Benedict, and Hero and Claudio, and it's just about their shenanigans basically, and it's my favourite of the Shakespeare plays because it's so full of wit. Beatrice is my favourite Shakespeare character, Shakespeare heroine, I think. And yeah, I just had the best time. And also I might treat myself this weekend to watching the Emma Thompson, Kenneth Branagh version of the film, which is from like 92 or something, but it's so joyful. So yeah, I had a brilliant time. Thank you, Shannon, for buddy reading this with me. I had the absolute best time. I'm pretty sure, was this gifted to me? Somebody's gifted this to me, I think, but I've stuck the, I haven't got the gift note in it because they kept falling out of these books, so I have them separately. But anyway, whoever sent this to me, thank you very much. It's the beautiful Macmillan Collectors Library Collectors, something like that edition. But now, yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Gave it 5 stars. I'm going to go and lie down now because I clearly have lost the ability to talk. It's still the 24th of April. This is a deeply unflattering angle, but the boys put the hammock up for me this morning, and I am very, very content right now. It's the 24th of April and I have just finished reading a book that everyone and their mother read last year and gave 5 stars, which is part of the reason why I've put it off for so long. But that book was The House on the Cerulean Sea by T.J.Klune. If you saw the first part of this monthly wrap-up, you'll have seen that it was the book that I decided to treat myself to once I'd submitted my 3rd and final essay for my PGCE. And I'm not quite sure why I had this sudden urge to read it. It's a book, like I said, it was so popular last year and almost everyone I saw who talked about it has given it 5 stars and raved about it. And it was just, I think I'm at a point where life is so stressful. I just needed something that I knew was going to be a hug in a book, which is how this book is consistently described. And I absolutely agree. I adored this so much. It's beautiful. So we're following a man who works for the department in charge of magical youth, a guy called Linus, and he basically gets sent out to what are called orphanages where magical children are kept, and he has to go and check that they are in good environments and they're being looked after. And then one day he gets summoned by very upper management to go to a house, what they call an orphanage, on this island where there are some of the most, what are called or considered to be some of the most dangerous magical children. And it's basically about what he finds there. And I'm not going to get too much into details because I went into this fairly blind and I feel like that's the best way to do it. But it's just the most beautiful story about family and about love and about accepting other people, and about being who you are. And I just thought it was beautifully done. I was on a 4-star rating until like the last 50 pages. And then the way that the ending is dealt with I just thought was gorgeous and it made me choke up several times. I really, really hope there are going to be more books. I don't know if there are, but I would definitely read them if there were. It was just absolutely glorious. So I would highly, highly recommend this. Yeah, it was beautiful. The hype is real. Read it. I gave it 5 stars. It's the 25th of April. I'm having a very relaxed, kind of snoozy weekend with the boys. Got a few chores done this morning because it's Sunday, which is when we do all of our housework and stuff. I just having a nice relaxed day, which is very much needed after last week and in preparation for next week. But I've had this arrive and I haven't ordered anything, I don't think, unless I've been doing that thing where I like stress order very late at night. But I don't think I have. It's very small and I can't show you because I want to show you my address, but it's like, you can see they're really thin and really small, and I'm slightly confused as to what it may be. So let's find out together. Open in one. Yes, it is a gift because it's a gift note. Oh, from Chloe. It's just a little reminder that you've got this. What she sent me. Chloe, you don't have to send me things. Nice. She sent me a bar of Galaxy Smooth Orange, which I haven't actually tried yet, and I'm really excited to try it. And I have to confess that when people send me sweets and I open them in my office, I stash them in my office. I've got my teaching shelf up there and I stash them on there so I don't have to share with the boys. That's really bad, isn't it? Thank you very much, Chloe. That is a very lovely little Sunday treat. There's no real space for this one today, but he's just made some space for himself, haven't you? It's the 20th of April. I've just had a very long day at work, but I did teach my first year 10 class without the class teacher in the room today, and it went okay, which is a big milestone for me because I was very nervous about it. So it's been a good day. I'm just tired. I have come home to 2 parcels, and I don't think I've ordered anything, so I'm going to open them here just in case. We'll go with this little one first. Yeah, just in case they are gifts from lovely humans, or if it's Victoria shopping online again and forgetting that she's ordered stuff. Oh no, this is a book. Oh yes, I did order this. I'm actually an idiot. First of all, it comes with this really cool bookmark from Blackwell's. Look how lovely that is. So it says Blackwell Limited, 1551 Broad Street, Oxford. I'm going to go here when we're allowed to like travel around again, because that's really cool. And then the book I'm very excited about is What White People Can Do Next, From Allyship to Coalition by Emma Dabiri. If you watched my videos last year, you'll know that I absolutely loved Don't Touch My Hair by Emma Dabiri. It's one of my top books of the year. And this is her next book, which is obviously What White People Can Do Next. Emma is an Irish lady. She's also I think half Nigerian, and she talked a lot in her first book about being biracial in Ireland, and this is the follow-up. So it says on the back, stop the denial, stop the false equivalencies, interrogate whiteness, interrogate capitalism, denounce the white saviour, abandon guilt. We need to talk about racial injustice in a different way, one that builds on the revolutionary ideas of the past and forges new connections. In this incisive, radical and practical essay, Emma Dabiri, acclaimed author of Don't Touch My Hair, draws on years of research and personal experience to challenge us to create meaningful, lasting change. I'm really hyped for this. You'll be seeing this really soon. I'm gonna read this really soon. How long is this? It's short. It's 150 pages. And look at that cover. Yeah, I pre-ordered this and then I forgot it was coming, so that's good. That feels like a present to myself. So that's the first one. And then this is big and heavy. So let's open it together. Oh, I can never open these on camera. There we go. Right. Oh, gift note. Okay. Nope, that's the. Somebody sent me Sanatorium. Who was that? I'm really excited for this one. Oh, it's from Joe. Thank you, Joe. Just a little gift to say thank you for the videos and carry on doing such a fantastic job with your teacher training from Joe. Thank you so much. You don't have to send me things. You can just like comment on videos and I don't know, say hello on Instagram. You don't have to spend money. Look at this. Look at those sprayed edges. Oh, I mean, I've heard such mixed things about this. Some people love this. And who was I heard talking about it that hated it? There's somebody that really hated it, and I was like, oh, so I'm really intrigued. All it says on the back is, at first glance they're magnificent, yet the more she looks, the more she realises how sinister the mountains appear, raw, jagged spikes. It's not hard to imagine, she thinks, looking out, this place somehow consuming someone, swallowing them whole. And I mean, look how creepy that cover is. Who was it I heard talking about it? Can't remember. Someone really hated it and somebody really loved it, so I want to know what I think. You can't wait to leave until you can't. I mean, sign me up. I'm so down for kind of like cheesy, easy to read thriller. Ooh, I like the spine as well. That's eerie. And I mean, I love this sprayed edges. So yes, thank you very much, Joe. That's really exciting and has genuinely made my day. And it's now the 1st of May and I'm here to wrap up this wrap up. So before I get into stats and stuff, I have 3 more books to talk about, 2 that I finished reading and 1 that I have recently bought. Let's come on to my TBR. So let's talk about the 2 that I finished first of all. Very, very different books. The first of those is The Melting by Lize Spit. This is translated from Dutch. It was originally written in Dutch and has been translated. This was very kindly sent to me by Picador. As you can see, it's a proof copy. That is what the actual focus. I hide my face. Will it focus? That's what the actual cover will look like. And it comes out in May this year, so it comes out this month as you're watching this video. It took me a minute there to work out which month we're in. This, wow, it's really dark. I read some dark stuff. This is one of the darkest things I've ever read. So let's try and explain this without giving spoilers. So we're following a woman, what is her name? Eva. I'm horrible at remembering character names. So we're following Eva, who I don't think we're given an exact age, but I think she's in her kind of mid to late 20s. She receives an invitation to return to her hometown for a gathering of people there. She decides to go. She packs up her car. She obviously packs some clothes and things, but she also puts a massive block of ice in the boot of her car, and we don't know why. And then we're following her on her journey back to her hometown, and then as she's driving, we're then flashing back to her childhood from when she was 11 until she was about 13, and something that happened the summer that she was 13 that she's never spoken about. This was so gripping. It was incredibly gripping. I could not put it down. It was one of those books where when I wasn't reading it, I was thinking about it and wondering where it was going to go. It's got this really eerie tone to it all the way through. You just know it's building towards something really bad. We see her family life. Her parents are functioning, barely functioning, alcoholics. Her sister has got some very severe OCD, which displays itself in a number of different ways. Her sister also has an eating disorder, which is connected to her OCD. She's got an older brother who's not really around very much. He's a couple of years older than her, and she's friends with these two boys who live in the village. One is the butcher's son, one is the son of a farmer. And like I said, it's about something that happens the summer that she's 13, and it's about her growing up and coming to terms with her body, learning more about her body. In one of the opening scenes, she gets her period for the first time, and it's about her trying to work that out because her mum just isn't capable of helping her. And yeah, it's just got this really dark, ominous tone. And every so often we have a chapter of her travelling back to her hometown as an adult, and she's got this block of ice with her, and you don't know why. And then it all comes together at the end. And like I said, it's incredibly dark, and I'm going to give content warnings in a minute. Be aware of those before you pick this up, because there are a couple of, they're not really twists, they're more like revelations throughout this book, where you realise either what's happening or what is happening. And there was a scene in this that I had to take a break from, and that very rarely, I can't think of the last time that happened to me, I had to put the book down and take a break, because it was like, whoa, this is too much. But then there's also something captivating about the writing that just pulls you back in. So please be aware of the content warnings. This is not for the faint-hearted at all. However, if you can handle those topics, and like I said, I'll give those in a minute. If you can handle those topics, I would highly recommend this. This, I think, is the only book from this author that's been translated into English, but if anything else gets translated, I will definitely be picking up. And a massive thank you to Picador for sending this to me to read and review. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I've given it a 4-star. It didn't quite get a 5, I think, only because some of the pacing was a little bit slow. It's over 400 pages, and whilst I kind of liked the slow build, I think we could have cut maybe 50 pages out just to get things moving a little bit in the middle, where the pace gets a bit baggy. Content warning, so if you don't want to know anything else about this book and want to go in totally blind, just skip on until I'm holding up the next book. But I am going to give content warnings because I think it's important. So content warnings for suicide, sexual assault and rape, animal torture. Like I said, there's OCD representation. I don't have OCD, so I don't know if the rep is good or if it was done well. As somebody kind of outside looking in, I think it was done well, but it gets very much into that. Also self-harm as well. So just be aware, this is super dark. It goes to some really dark places. I should also mention that the sexual assault and rape also includes that of a child. So just be aware. But if you can handle those topics, the writing was absolutely stunning for this book. So there's that one, and they were completely different. I was very much deliberately reading these at the same time because there was only so much of this that I could kind of hack in one go. I was also reading this one, the Etymologicon, that one, I still can't say that title, by Mark Forsyth. This is all about etymology, which is the history of language. As it says on the front here, it's a circular stroll through the hidden connections of the English language. I got 2 copies of this for Christmas. My boss and my husband both gifted me copies. This was the copy my husband got me because I'm in love with this cover. I think it's stunning. Yeah, it's non-fiction, and it's a proper like word nerd book. This is a really niche thing to be excited about, but he starts with the word book, and then he looks at different things that are connected to that word, and it's just like it says, a circular stroll through the hidden connections, and it looks at where words have come from, what they originally mean, how their meanings have been lost or warped or changed over time. And I just thought it was really fun. I thought when I got it, when I was given it, I thought it might be a bit dry given the subject matter, but he's got this like really sarcastic sense of humour that runs underneath it, which is exactly my kind of thing. Like the writing style, the topics are totally different, but the writing style really reminded me of Adam Kay, who wrote This Is Going to Hurt, and it's kind of that like slightly off the cuff kind of vibe, and I gave it 4 stars. I thought it was really fun, and yeah, it was definitely a good antidote to this one. So those are the last 2 books that I read in the month. And then I've added one more book onto my TBR, and that is number 47 by Hannah R. Palmer. Hannah has an AuthorTube channel, I think, or a Booktube channel. I will link that in the description. We're also friends on Bookstagram, and I'll put her link for that as well down below. And she messaged me on Bookstagram and said, oh, can I send you a copy of my book because I think it's the kind of thing you'll really like? And I said, thank you so much, but I can't accept ARCs, like e-ARCs, because I don't have an e-reader. I can only accept physical copies of books, and I've got no problem like accepting a physical book from a massive company like Picador, who have a budget and can afford to send me a lovely like bound proof. But Hannah is a indie author, and I was like, you can't send, I'm not gonna take copies of your book off you, basically. And that's not like commenting on anyone who does. I'm very fortunate that I'm in a position where I can spend, I think it was like £7 or something on a book, and you know, it doesn't affect me, but I didn't want to take one of the copies of the book when she's an indie author. So I ordered this, I paid for it, and it's arrived. And I think it's like a psychological thriller type thing. It's got a very brilliantly creepy cover, and yeah, that has been added to my TBR, so you'll be seeing that at some point when it comes up in a TBR game. And yeah, I'm excited to give it a go. So that's on my TBR. So that's number 47 by Hannah R. Palmer, and that will be listed below as always with the other books that I've bought this month. So that's April's reading. April's been a really weird month. I'm glad I split this video into 2, because I think it's been a month of 2 halves. Like the Easter holidays at the beginning, whilst I was like working really hard, I also managed to fit in, I think I had 2 days off in the fortnight. I had a little bit of family time with the boys, which was lovely. You know, I've had, you know, like I said, I've been working hard, but at least I was at home in my pyjamas. And then the second half, which is why this video is so much shorter, I've been back at school and just really busy and exhausted, but kind of getting into the swing of it now. My teaching timetable has been topped up, so my timetable is as full as it will be when I start my new job, which is good practice. I'm very tired, but it's fine, I'm getting through. So yeah, definitely a month of 2 halves, but I'm really pleased with my reading. So let's just quickly do some stats. So I read in total 12 books, so that's really good. I mean, obviously taking into account the fact I was on holiday for 2 weeks at the start of the month, but it kind of ups my reading a bit, because the month before I was a bit disappointed still being single figures by the end of the month. So 12 books is good. I read 4,035 pages over the month, which is 135 per day, which is great. And then really pleasingly, my average star rating is 4.1, and I think that's the best month I've had all year so far. Let's just check back. Yeah, it is. That's the best reading month I've had so far this year in terms of rating, which is great. My favourite book, my book of the month, was definitely The House in the Cerulean Sea by T.J.Klune. I'm still thinking about it. I already want to reread it. You've already seen my thoughts, but I just thought it was glorious. My most disappointing book of the month, unfortunately, was also the first book I read this month, and that was The Imposter by Anna Walton. And I feel a bit bad because this was sent to me by Book Break, but this one, it was fine. As you've already seen my review, it was in the first half of this wrap up, which I'll put in the description. It just didn't quite get there. I gave it 3 stars, so I didn't hate it, but it was my lowest rated book of the month. And when I was looking at the stack, it was like, yeah, that one just didn't quite get there for me. So that was my most disappointing book. And then my favourite poem of the month, I have continued with this every day. I've been reading my poem for every day of the year, which is edited by Ali Aziri. I think that's how you say it. I was a bit disappointed with April's poems. There was only really one that I liked. So it's kind of my favourite by default, and that is Do Not Stand at My Grave and Weep by Mary Elizabeth Fry, which is usually read at funerals because it's really sad, but I just think it's got some beautiful images in it, and I'm just going to read it really quickly. So, Do not stand at my grave and weep. I am not there, I do not sleep. I am 1,000 winds that blow. I am the diamond glints on snow. I am the sun on ripened grain. I am the gentle autumn's rain. When you awaken in the morning's hush, I am the swift uplifting rush of quiet birds in circling flight. I am the stars that shine at night. Do not stand at my grave and cry. I am not there, I did not die. And I just think that's so beautiful. So yeah, that was definitely my kind of favourite poem of the month. Just default. The others I was just kind of meh about, but that's how it goes sometimes. So yeah, that's all the stats. Those are all the books. If you've made it to the end of this wrap up, what should we have as the emoji? Leave me an emoji to do with the sea. Any of the sea emojis, because the House of the Cerulean Sea was my favourite book of the month. So yeah, leave me a sea emoji. If you've made it this far into the video, just let me know you've watched the whole thing, which is always so lovely to know. Please subscribe if you haven't already and you would like more of this chaos, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks guys, bye.